A lone warrior stands before the most magnificent gates ever seen. Before him are the legendary gates of eternity, which separate the mortal realm from the celestial heavens. As the story goes, only the most valiant and pure of heart may pass through these gates once they have proven themselves worthy. But our warrior has already proven himself time and time again. His deeds are legendary, and now he stands before the gates ready to finally pass through and claim his reward. But there is one problem. The gates are sealed shut. No light can be seen from behind them, and not a single soul can pass through until the seal is broken. This is the story of how that seal was broken, and the legend of the great warrior who stood before the gates of eternity. The wind howls through the clouds as a massive gate slowly begins to turn. A giant crack appears, letting golden light shine through and illuminate the clouds around it. The crack grows wider and the door rises higher and higher until at last it is fully open and floating above the clouds. On the other side, light beams shoot out and reveal an incredible sight, a massive city hidden behind the gate. At the center, a gigantic palace shines brightly, its spires reaching up towards the heavens. It looks like the very gods themselves live here. Our hero takes a deep breath and steps forward onto a narrow stone path that leads to the gates. He is dressed in shining armor, and his sword hangs at his side, glinting in the light. As he walks, the path crumbles beneath his feet, but he doesn't seem to notice. He is too focused on the gates ahead of him. He raises his head and looks through the opening. On the other side, he can see the divine city in all its glory. But there is something else there too, something that calls to him. He can feel it in his bones, and it is drawing him closer. The warrior walks forward, deeper into the clouds. The wind whips around him, trying to push him back, but he won't be deterred. He is on a mission, and nothing will stand in his way. The clouds swirl around him, forming into shapes that twist and turn like living things. They reach out for him, trying to grab hold of him, but he is too quick for them. He weaves between them, never losing focus. As he walks, strange symbols appear in the air around him. They float up and away, then dissolve into the clouds. He doesn't seem to notice them either. He's too focused on the task at hand. He has come too far to give up now. He won't let anything stop him from reaching his goal. As the warrior gets closer to the gates, the light from behind them grows brighter and brighter. It's as if the city itself is shining through the crack in the gates, beckoning him forward. The warrior quickens his pace, and soon he is almost there. He reaches out a hand and touches the cool stone of the gate. In that moment, he feels a connection to something greater than himself, feels the power of the gods flowing through him, and he knows that he is about to enter the presence of the divine. He takes a deep breath and pushes open the gates. They swing inwards slowly, revealing what lies beyond. The warrior steps through and closes his eyes against the brightness. When he opens them again, he finds himself in a place of unimaginable beauty. He is standing in front of the most magnificent gates ever seen. Before him are the legendary gates of eternity, which separate the mortal realm from the celestial heavens. As the story goes, only the most valiant and pure of heart may pass through these gates once they have proven themselves worthy. But our warrior has already proven himself time and time again. His deeds are legendary. And now he stands before the gates ready to finally pass through and claim his reward. But there is one problem. The gates are sealed shut. No light can be seen from behind them, and not a single soul can pass through until the seal is broken. The warrior approaches the gates cautiously, can feel the power emanating from them, and he knows that he must respect it. He raises his hand and places it on the cool stone of the gate. As he does so, the stone begins to glow with a soft light, and the warrior can feel the power of the gates coursing through him. He closes his eyes and focuses his thoughts, reaching out with his mind to try and understand the will of the gods. Suddenly, the stone beneath his hand begins to hum, and the air around him vibrates with energy. The warrior opens his eyes and watches in amazement as the stone path before him lights up with brilliant runes. He takes a step back as the runes glow brightly, and a bolt of divine light shoots out from the ground, striking the gates directly. The warrior shields his eyes as the light fills his vision. When he lowers his hands, he sees that the gates have begun to turn. A crack appears in the center, letting golden light shine through and illuminate the clouds around it. The warrior takes a deep breath and steps forward. As the crack widens, the warrior steps through and emerges into the other side. He looks back and sees that the crack is closed, hiding the city once more, turns and begins to explore his surroundings. He finds himself in a beautiful meadow filled with flowers that glow with an otherworldly light. In the distance, he can hear the sound of singing and drums. Curious, he decides to investigate. As he walks, the trees begin to thin, and the warrior can see the source of the music. There in the distance, he can see a group of people dancing and singing around a huge bonfire. They are dressed in robes and their faces are painted with colorful designs. As the warrior gets closer, he can see that they are worshipping a huge statue made of pure gold. The statue is of a warrior, and it looks like it could be watching him. The warrior stops in his tracks and considers what to do next. He could continue on and explore the city, or he could stay here and watch the ceremony. He decides to stay and watch the ceremony. As the night goes on, the people chant and dance, and the fire burns brightly. The warrior feels a sense of peace and belonging wash over him. He has never seen anything like this before, and he is fascinated by it. Suddenly, the statue of the warrior begins to glow. The people stop their dancing and turn to look at the statue. The warrior feels a surge of power and presence, and he knows that he is being watched. The glow from the statue intensifies until it is blinding. Then just as quickly it disappears. People erupt into cheers and begin to dance again. The warrior is stunned by what he just saw. He knows that he is in the presence of something truly special. He can't wait to see more. Now, with renewed determination, the warrior continues on his way into the city. As he walks, he can feel the presence of the gods all around him. He knows that he is being watched, and it makes him feel both honored and nervous. He comes to a fork in the path and has to make a decision. Which way should he go? He feels drawn to both paths, and he doesn't know which one to choose. Suddenly, he hears a voice in his head that seems to be guiding him. He follows the voice and finds himself walking down a path that he didn't know existed. As he walks, the trees begin to thin, and the warrior can see a huge palace in the distance. He quickens his pace and soon finds himself at the entrance to the palace. He takes a deep breath and steps inside. The interior of the palace is even more magnificent than the exterior. The walls are decorated with murals that depict scenes from the creation of the world. Huge crystals hang from the ceiling, and their light filters down through stained glass windows that show images of gods and goddesses. The warrior walks through the palace, marveling at the beauty around him. He comes to a huge throne room and stops in his tracks. Sitting on the throne is a huge statue of a god. The statue is made of pure gold, and its eyes seem to be glowing. The warrior feels a surge of power and presence, and he knows that he is in the presence of something truly special. The warrior looks around the throne room and sees 4 pedestals in each corner. On each pedestal is a scroll. The warrior walks over to the scrolls and unrolls one. As he does so, the room begins to shake, and the statue of the god begins to glow.
Ow.
The warrior quickly rolls up the scroll and puts it back on the pedestal. The room stops shaking, and the statue stops glowing. The warrior realizes that he has stumbled upon something powerful and dangerous. He knows that he needs to be careful if he wants to survive. He backs away from the throne room and makes a decision. He is not going to stay here any longer. He turns and runs for the exit, not stopping until he is outside the palace. Once he is outside, he runs as fast as he can, not daring to look back. He doesn't know what he has awakened, but he knows that it is powerful and dangerous. He keeps running until he reaches the gates, then stumbles through them, collapsing on the other side. When he looks back, he can see that the gates have vanished. The clouds have cleared, and the sun is shining brightly. The warrior gets to his feet and looks around. He is no longer in the meadow. Instead, he is in a dense forest. He shakes his head and tries to remember what happened. He knows that he had a vision, but he can't remember the details. He walks slowly through the forest, trying to piece together what happened. As he walks, he comes across a small clearing. In the center of the clearing is a huge tree, and the warrior feels drawn to it. He walks over to the tree and places his hand on its trunk. As he does so, the tree begins to glow. The warrior closes his eyes and leans against the tree, feeling the power of the ancient being flowing through him. When he opens his eyes, he sees that the clearing is gone. He is no longer in the forest. Instead, he is back in the meadow. The warrior looks around and realizes that he is not alone. Standing before him are the gods. The warrior falls to his knees and bows his head. He knows that he is in the presence of something truly special. He can't wait to hear what they have to say. The gods speak to the warrior and tell him that he has been chosen. He is the one who will bring balance to the world. The warrior is honored, but he is also scared. He knows that he is not worthy of the task, but the gods tell him that he is. They give him a weapon and tell him to use it wisely. The warrior takes the weapon and promises to use it for good. The gods smile and disappear. The warrior looks down at the weapon in his hands and smiles. He is ready to begin his quest.